Hello and welcome to the FGandRZ Podcast. I'm your host RZ or Aaron, and my co-host FG or Luke. Say hello.
Yo.
So, we have quite a few things to talk about. Last week we had barely anything, and this week they've kind of hit us with quite enough to talk about. We've got, I'll start with the Detective Pikachu, right? I went to cinema Friday to go watch it, right? And to my disappointment, did you know?
What?
No. Wait. Hold out, right?
Yeah, sorry. You started off like a bit. I'm not blown away. Yeah.
To my disappointment, did you know they no longer do Tango Ice Blasts?
Okay. I thought we. Yeah, I do actually know they don't do Tango Ice Blast anymore. I saw it.
Yeah, we bought this cherry shit, right? And I can't. The man is lucky. The man was lucky he caught me on a good day because it did not taste like cherry. It did not taste very good.
Right, and it's not that beautiful, is it? Like, it's not that beautiful. You know why they go with a Tango Ice Blast?
No, I actually don't. Do you? No, like literally, right? So they've got a Vimto Ice Blast now. Which I didn't try because I'm an idiot, and then because he baited me, I went to the counter, right? I literally went to the counter and I was like, yeah, can I have 2 red Tango Ice Blasts, please? He was like, we don't do the Tango Ice Blasts anymore. Or he was like, you can have our version of the Tango Ice Blast, or you can have this you can have the Vimto one. I was like, just give me your version then. Why I said that, I do not know. I should have went Vimto. As soon as people say you can have our version, it's never going to taste the same. It's just not going to be as good. So I don't know why I was like, right, just give me your version. So I think £4.50 each as well, right, for their version of the right. That's not how it happens, right? It's cheaper if it's your version of something, not the exact same price. Yeah. So we ended up with one of them, and goddamn disgusting. We weren't disgusting. We weren't terrible. It was pretty bad though. Anyway, right, go on to the Detective Pikachu. We had the best seats ever, right? I'm just gonna throw that out there. I thought that film was gonna be absolute comedy gold. It wasn't comedy gold. It was funny. Yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't like literally comedic to the point where I was crying with laughter. There was one scene which I thought that was absolutely perfect, and that was, the mime scene in the trailer. Yeah. The scene, they do a little scene with the mime after that, and it's absolutely genius. Like it is really funny. Other than that, though, it was quite like serious-ish. Jokes that were said were not jokes to make you like absolutely be pissing yourself. Pikachu was great. I thought Pikachu was really good, to be fair. The main character, he was all right. He was a bit strange, but overall, like the film was, this is how I can explain it. The film was rated PG, right? And there was a lot of kids there when we went to watch it. And I don't think there was one joke that was suitable for children though.
What? Really?
Like just little jokes. You know how you watch like a Disney TV show and they say a joke and the kid doesn't get the joke, but you as a parent is like, that's pretty funny. It was like that, but all the way through sort of thing. It was kind of like that, like pretty. I didn't think of it. Most of it weren't a kid's joke. I don't think I heard kids laughing really. Like the age group that generally laughed like through most of it was like adults or my age, like 22.
Well, you don't consider yourself an adult. You're 22.
What? I consider myself a teen adult. Like, I'm not saying I'm a dad, you know what I mean? I'm saying like there was dads that were laughing, and then there was my age group that was laughing, but the kids weren't laughing. Right, there were, right. Also, there was a lot of Pokemon in it. I don't know all the Pokemon. I'm not that big of a fan of Pokemon. I think if you was a bigger Pokemon fan than me, you probably would. Yeah, you probably would have liked it. They did do little things as well where Pokemons would use their abilities, and the kid in the film, he originally wanted to become a Pokemon trainer, so he mostly knows everyone's abilities. I thought that was a good twist, because every time you've seen a Pokemon use his ability, he kind of explained in a way the ability, so you understood what was going on, sort of thing. Thought that was decent. Mewtwo looked pretty sick in it as well. Like, he was pretty dope. Pikachu was dope. The overall characters are alright. I just wanted it to be a bit funnier. If I could rate it out of 10, I get about 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I get about 7 out of 10.
So obviously I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But, the first reviews I saw was that it's great for Pokemon fans and not for non-Pokemon fans. So that's alright. Then if you gave it a 7 out of 10, it's alright.
Yeah, and also I thought the end, if the end wasn't that ending, it probably could have been rated a bit higher. I thought the ending was pretty crap. Like, the ending disappointed me because you, like, as you're watching it, right, you're thinking, like, the chemistry of Pikachu's, like, so good, and like no one like dies or anything, but like the chemistry of Pikachu is really cool, and I would probably prefer to watch like a Detective Pikachu 2 sort of thing, but they kind of written that straight out at the end. It was just like, yeah, there ain't gonna be another fucking Pikachu film. So I know you thought they probably weren't going to make another Pikachu film. I thought, like, through the whole of the film, I was like, yeah, they're building a lot of chemistry and they could even go further with the next film. And then at the end, they kind of cut the cord and it was just like, okay, yeah, there's definitely never going to be another one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that's what I'm saying, 7 out of 10. Anywho, right, let's jump straight off Detective Pikachu. We'll stay on the movie hype, though, right? A new Spider-Man trailer. What did you think?
So I really liked the Spider-Man trailer. I actually really liked it. Like I already thought this is what the trailer was going to be about. I already thought that it was going to be about how Peter is like coping while managing Tony's death and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer looked really good. The only thing I didn't think like looked that great was like, I don't want Mysterio to be a good guy.
See, right, so I liked the very start of the trailer. I thought the start was awesome. It reminded me so much of the game. No, not Endgame. You know, the game of Spider-Man that recently came out, how there was people like stuck to the fucking wall and he was like hanging people. I thought that was pretty fucking decent. Mysterio as thingy, from what I've heard, rumors, speculation, right? Apparently this might be like a double turn on Spider-Man. So Mysterio's kind of using Spider-Man's weakness, that like he hasn't got a mentor anymore, using that, and then he's gonna twist on him like halfway through and completely screw him over. That's what I've heard. Apparently Mysterio is that kind of character as well, that like he would take advantage of you, and then like halfway through he's just like, ha, bitch, you've done what I wanted you to do, now I'm gonna do my own thing, sort of thing.
We'll have to see how it pans out, but from the looks of things, that's not what it was looking like to me.
I did kind of like he was wearing Iron Man's glasses in it as well. I thought that was a nice little added touch. I do think the multiple suits as well is really cool. I think that's interesting because no other Spider-Man has done that. You know what I mean? Like, no other Spider-Man film has multiple suit him other than the Venom suit, but we're just not going to talk about all. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, they proper like changed out the suits. I think it looks decent. I think it's gonna be good. Do I think it's gonna be the defining Marvel film? No, it's just another Marvel film. Really, like, a Marvel film's really good no matter what. So it's just gonna be a good Marvel film. I don't think there's any like much more to that. You know what I mean?
I hope it's not like I hope it doesn't get like the bad kind of publicity that Ant-Man and the Wasp got, because Ant-Man and the Wasp came out straight after Infinity War. So people was like, when they went to it, despite it being a really good film, people were like, yeah, this film sucks, because it didn't really give you anything from Infinity War, which it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
So I hope that like people like straight after Endgame aren't like expecting some like massive revelation about Endgame and stuff, you know what I mean, and seeing how every single character is doing after it, because it's still a Spider-Man film.
Yeah, I was about to say, it is just a Spider-Man film. It's about Spider-Man. If you see anyone else in it, if you see any other hero in it, you know, just enjoy that hero's a part of it. Don't expect fucking Black Panther and all them characters to show up as well and help out, because that's not what that film is. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Like, stick with your own style sort of thing. That's cool. Anywho, we'll now jump over Minecraft, right? They're saying that they've got a film on the way. Release date could be 2022. What are you thinking about that?
Terrible idea to me. Minecraft doesn't even have like a good universe to build a film around. I'm pretty sure they had like a Telltale Netflix kind of show thing for it, right?
That lasted like 10 seasons. It just, but even that was just rip off of films. Did you know that? Like it was literally just rip off of films in the Minecraft world.
Okay.
So like I would assume if they can't go down that route, can they? I honestly don't know where they're gonna go down with that route. If they're gonna go like kind of live action style, or they're gonna go with kind of, you know, the block people style. I generally don't know. I don't know what I want from it. I don't even want this film. I don't want anything from it. Literally, I don't even know what's gonna happen with it.
I think it's such a weird time to just make like a Minecraft movie. Minecraft hasn't been popular for the longest time. It's so weird that they're just randomly making a movie and it's not going to launch till 2022. I don't know, man. I don't think that sounds like a great idea, but whatever, it's not really a problem for me. So
yeah, honestly, like I'll probably go and watch it because whatever. But in all honesty, it is just like what is actually the point in it? Yeah. I would like to know the story before I can decide whether this film's just going to be the most useless thing in the world, or if it's going to be okay. But I don't know where they're going to go with it, and I think it's going to just be a dead film. Yeah, I think they should. If it, you know what, if it is just a comedy and like, I don't know, they do it right, it could be interesting. But I generally don't know if it is actually going to be all that good.
Yeah, I don't think it really will be.
Right, our next subject, we're flying through these. Our next subject is the It trailer, chapter 2 of It. I've watched It 1 like 10 times because it's awesome. How many times you watched it, or have you just watched it once?
I just watched it the one time. I didn't like it that much.
Okay, really? Okay, I went there. So this is my story of It, right? Basically, I really wanted to watch It when it first came out. Just for the sheer fact all the reviews were saying it was amazing, and I was like, I want to watch it. My sister then went to go and watch it without me, and I was absolutely gutted. And then my other sister rang me and she was like, I'm bored, what are you doing today? And I was like, nothing. And then she was like, same. We had a conversation. We literally both said that we really want to go watch it, and we just decided that day to just get up and go and watch it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was an awesome day. It was a brilliant day with my sister. So it was perfect, and the film was absolutely epic. Anywho, right, this It trailer doesn't show much, right, but it still gives you that It vibe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'll explain it because I know you haven't watched it, right? Because you don't want to watch it, right? Right. I'll explain basically what happens, right? You know the girl with the ginger hair.
Yes.
Right, that the chubbier boy kind of fancies at first, right?
Yep.
She's a lot older.
The only girl there, but yeah.
Yeah, right. She's a lot older now. Like, I'm talking like middle to late 30s, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna be really. That's offensive if she actually isn't that name, but she looks age, but she looks that age, right? Anyway, she goes back to her house where. You know, where her dad lived and everything like that. Don't know why they didn't explain it, right? She knocks on the door, an old woman answers. She's basically like, I used to live here, can I come have a look around? The old woman's like, oh dear, come in, blah 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 blah, right? She then looks under like the cupboard or something like that and sees a picture that the boy gave her, you know, when he wrote a note on it, right? She looks at that in the hallway, right? As she's looking at it, in the distance you can see the old woman watching it, and then the old woman does a little run into the room, and it's like an uncomfortable run, right? And
yeah,
it's
I
like,
can imagine that.
and it's like, wait, what the fuck? Right, with that, right, they're sitting down and having a cuppa. They're like talking about something, and the woman just goes blank, and she just starts staring at her with like the weirdest fucking smile ever, man. And she literally is just frozen on the spot with the weirdest smile ever. And she's like, and then she snaps out of it, and she's like, "I've baked cookies, right? I'm gonna go get you some. Just stay there." And she's like, "Okay, whatever." Right? She starts talking about a family. The woman looks at the pictures on the wall, and there is a dude who is apparently the old woman's father, who looks the spitting image of the It character. And as like you can see the woman's face reacting behind her, you can see the old woman like looking from the corner of the wall, and it's like, oh shit. And then she turns around, and I started howling, right? The woman like runs past the door like completely naked. Like completely fucking naked. I ain't even joking, right? It's so weird. And then like it flashes, and then it shows a camera pan like between like the woman's kind of like legs as she's like running to her. It's fucking weird as fuck, but it's really awesome at the same time. Then it shows like little clippets of like, you know, like It balloons, you know, the characters and everything. It looks fucking awesome, to be fair. Like it actually looks perfect. I think it's going to be really good. I don't think it's going to be trash at all. I think it's going to be like as good as number one probably. And then the very final end, you see two white hands, and then it puts out like a light, and then like the light shines over him, and it's its face. And that's basically about it. What happens in the trailer?
The kids or anything.
They show a bit of the other kids just like talking and stuff, and like with torches, but nothing really major. But they're all older, and the character who plays the dude in the wheelchair off X-Men's in it.
Oh yeah.
James McAvoy. He's in it. Everyone thinks he's a great actor, so it's going to be pretty decent. I think it's going to be a pretty good film. From my description, what do you think?
So I mean, so most horror films generally disappoint me for the most part when I'm watching it anyway. Like I'm generally like, so when I'm watching the horror film, I'm like, I'm like, that was shit. But then like when I get home and like I'm asleep, I start dwelling on it. So like if I'm trying to sleep, right, like for example, like I don't know, you see someone's hand come out from beneath the bed or something, right? Like on the film, you're like, that was terrible, that wasn't that great. And then like when you're going to sleep, or me particular when I'm going to sleep, I'm like, oh my god, there's a hand that's gonna reach out from my bed tonight. No, thank you. So then like I start like sleeping downstairs and stuff because, you know, that's better.
Sleeping downstairs more safe than your own bedroom?
Yeah, because if I'm downstairs, I got like multiple doors to run out of. But in my bedroom, you can block the one door, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm dead.
Why don't you just jump out your window?
Yeah, that's a really smart idea. Why don't it's just sleeping downstairs with two doors that I can run out my window in my bedroom. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So typically that's what mostly happens with horror films, but with it. So it started off, it kind of did the opposite for me. It started off as like an okay movie with like some kind of scary scenes. Mm-hmm. But as the film went later and later and later on, it started to get worse and worse and worse for me. And at the very end, when they just fully clapped the clown, like honestly, when they fully clap him, like it ruined the film a little for me because it kind of became like a not horror film for me then.
Yeah.
So like even when I was going to sleep, I was like, oh yeah, he could be at that door. Then I was going to sleep and I was like, nah, never mind. So he got clapped to some 8-year-old kids that don't matter anyway. What's he gonna do to me?
He didn't like die.
No, but he basically did. Like he got basically banished for a long time, right?
Hmm.
So So like, yeah, he'll come back, but like he won't. Like, not for them. They basically survived because of it. So like, it didn't really like, I don't know, didn't really do anything for me because of that, like that fact alone. Because he got like beat up at the end, by a bunch of kids. I cannot emphasize by a bunch of kids more if I tried. Like, he actually got beat up to kids at the end. I'm pretty sure one of the kids picked up like a chain and started swinging it around the dude. Like, I don't even fully remember what was happening. I just remember
they kind of do just jump him like they're thugs. Like,
yeah, they literally do. Like, they
just
full
lying on the floor and they're beating him.
And I couldn't take that film serious anymore because I was laughing so hard at the end of like the kids just fully smacking him around, and because of that, like the film wasn't really like a good horror film to me. So like, I wasn't looking forward to this film that much either because I don't know. Either this film will make it like a saving grace, right? Like, and it will just fully come back and kill all of them little kids, or he'll get clapped to him again. And if he gets clapped to him again, it will ruin the film for me, but it will make it watchable. So like, I won't be scared for like a week to go to bed.
Yeah.
But then like, it won't be a good horror film for me, basically.
So
and from your description, it doesn't sound that great.
It sounds just like an It film, right? So, do you think that a killer or something in a horror film needs to stay alive at the end for it to still have that impact to kind of scare you?
Nah, it's hard. It's more the way that they are dealt with. You know what I mean? So like, if a killer is God, how can all right? So Insidious. I liked Insidious, especially number 1, right? Insidious has like a 50-50 ending, right? Where you're like, oh my god, the family are all safe and sound, and then choke the life out of them out of nowhere. And then like it preps up like that next one, and so because of that, Insidious was still really good for me, and it was, well, I say really good. I was terrified.
Insidious was very scary.
So the clown could have definitely lost. Just not the way that he did, right? Like, if the kids like, found kind of ritual or something. Yeah, like if the kids like found some kind of ritual or something and like banished him that way, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But they just jumped him with like chains and bats and stuff, and then like they literally like, they spend the entire like time running away from him, and he's just taking the piss. But then one of them just grows balls and says, "Boys, look here now. I'm gonna go clap him. Watch." And then he walks up and fully starts doing it, and the clown don't know what to do. It's like he's never had this happen to him before, so he doesn't know how to fight back. And then like, and then he grabs the kid and he's like, "Boys, if you leave now, I'll let you live." And he's like, "We ain't gonna leave now. We just watch this one kid clap. You think we're scared of you now?" And then one of them picks up a chain and starts coming at him, and he knows his days are numbered. Then he knows his days are numbered.
He's already done. He's
literally
already finished.
And then like, I'm pretty sure he has one kid in like his giant fucking mouth, and like and the kid's alive. The kid survives. It ruined it for me a bit because it started good when like your boy Georgie was at the drain, and then he bites his arm off there and then and just devours him through the drain. But yeah. So for me, the description, it sounded like your typical It film. You're right, it did sound like it, and it wasn't that great for me. So I didn't like it that much.
I think okay, after the pod, right, I think I'm gonna make you watch the trailer just to see what you think. I think you're kind of right. I wanted to give you nightmares, right? I want you to freak out. The trailer probably
will give me nightmares. Like, it's not. I don't get nightmares from stuff like that. I find it trouble sleeping because then my mind starts being dumb. Like, yeah, just because I've watched this trailer now, all of a sudden this can happen to me.
Yeah. Like, what kind of scares you more on? So for a horror, is it a killer, a ghost, or like an entity that like is kind of like a ghost? But
it's not a killer. Killers don't scare me. Killers, I'm just like, I look at them and I can't help but wonder why someone hasn't just picked up the nearest like the nearest like, I don't know, like most people like have some kind of something that you can pick up and just start swinging at someone. Yeah. And most of these killers are just so dumb in the things they just walk towards, and they're like, "Look at me." I'm like Scream, for example. Man, I reckon I'd clap Scream. There's so many killers that I reckon, like, honestly, if they did that to me, I'd clap them.
Right, wait, name the killers.
Man, they're out of my mind because I don't address trash. I'd have to look through a list of killers. But like ghosts scare me a lot more because ghosts, I'm just like, yeah, I'm dead. And entities, so demons would be scary, except for the fact that every single time you see them, they're just pissing around, like they're just moving stuff around the room, or like they're throwing the person around the room, but they ain't actually attacking them, and you're just like, man, what you doing?
Yeah.
But like those ones just like, yeah, I'm a bit more scared of like demons and ghosts because it's a bit more, yeah, you fucked. But the killers, like, so that's why it would have scared me, because like some demonic clown that can just be your biggest fear, and then like eat you and stuff, like, mate, that would terrify me if he didn't get clapped to a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The kids all look like they play Fortnite as well.
The kids all look like they play Fortnite. I don't even know there was a game console in that time region that they were playing.
Yeah, but they look like they play Fortnite, and they look like if Fortnite was out, they would play it. Like they're not exactly the most thuggish looking groups of kids you've ever seen, are you? They like, nah, they wouldn't do shit to it. Like, I can't imagine them doing shit to a demonic clown, and that's why the demonic clown means nothing to me. Because if he came at me, I just laugh at him and go, "I'll watch you get clapped to a bunch of Fortnite players." I cannot.
A Fortnite player, that's the best. I actually love that.
I cannot imagine like being like if it was legit, like if he was real and I didn't know he got clapped to some kids, then yeah, it'd scare the shit out of me. But because I know that he has, it's not scary.
Yeah, I feel ya. Right, next subject, jumping off films, moving towards games. Riot done a walkout the other day, Monday, May 6th. Don't know if it was successful or not. What do you think? Not more in aspects of Riot, but us. So we know, like, the gaming community and being a game developer is quite harsh. In like hours and stuff like that. What do you think that as a whole, like, do you think it's quite good that people are starting to take more of a stand against it? Or what do you actually think on that sort of thing?
Well, I don't know much about the walkout, but was it about hours? I thought it was about discrimination.
No, yeah. So the Riot walkout was about discrimination and mostly towards women, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen some pictures which were pretty brutal. Let me just say. Let me just come out what one of these signs said, which is extreme. Give me 30 seconds just to find it. Yeah, so a sign here said, which a woman was holding, by the way. I reported and he got promoted.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
I've seen that. That is, if that's the case, that's absolutely brutal. There was more signs that also said, "Be the company you say you are. Silence one of us, you silence all of us." I think that the walkout went on for about 2 hours, and I don't know what's gone on from there, but I'm pretty sure there is something in relation to court going on at the moment, related, and some of the stuff might be released if Riot don't do anything to the public. So that's going to be interesting to find out what people's actual stories are.
Yeah.
With the company. But to spin it, I was just going to try and talk about more gaming communities or game companies as a whole. So you know about Mortal Kombat being released, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently a developer from Mortal Kombat came out recently and said that he was working 100+ hours a week on the game, and some people were also staying there overnight just to try and finish the game for release. What do you think of that?
I think crunchies are disgusting. I think like 100-hour week is ridiculous. 1 second. Yeah, so I think crunches as a whole are just a joke. I would not mind waiting an extra 1 to 2 years for my games and stuff like that. Um, if it just means we're gonna get like more humane treatment for like developers and stuff, I can't imagine that is I can't imagine that is a good thing to do to your own staff. I cannot imagine it motivates them to make the game perfect. I cannot imagine it motivates them for future releases or for future games with the company.
Mm-hmm.
As a whole, it's not the consumer's fault, but it makes you feel shitty for a consumer. Like when a game comes out and you hear about all the crunch time that's been put into it and stuff. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's okay, but sometimes with things like Anthem and stuff, like I will say this, like from from what you hear about Anthem, it's kind of it's not the publisher's fault or anything like that. It's more like management of like BioWare as a whole's fault and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in those situations, like they had to crunch through their own fault or through the fault of the management anyway. Within BioWare, like that was their own fault because they pissed around for that however much time. But generally, when like people are working on a game and like they're working fine and stuff like that, but then they have to put like in 100-hour weeks just to. And here's the thing that sucks the most: most of these people don't get paid like hourly and stuff like that. They get paid paid a set amount.
Yeah,
right?
like fixed rate. Yeah.
Yeah, you get paid a fixed rate, and then they're still putting in like I don't know, like more than double the amount of hours they're required to by like their contract.
Mm-hmm.
But then like a lot of these people are like, well, like I'm not working it, and they'll just be like, well, we'll fire you then. You know what I mean? And I think it's gross.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that you need to think of as like a consumer as well. It's kind of it is kind of sad because us, even as like players, the amount of times we will get a game, and you will see in future podcasts when we get a game and it's absolutely horrendous, we will state that it is absolutely horrendous. But you don't see behind the scenes that guy sat there, didn't get to see his family, probably literally worked his ass off non-stop just to have me as a consumer purchase the game and tell him that it's one of the worst games I've ever played.
Well, we aren't wrong for saying that.
No,
like,
we aren't in the wrong at all for saying something like that. But at the same time, you feel sorry for the guy that's put in so many hours because. Imagine the boss, right? So you're working your ass off like that, right? The game gets a fucking 3 out of 10. The boss walks in and now he's claiming it's all your fault, the reason the game's shit. And it's like, wait a second, right? I'm putting in more hours than I need to. I'm literally working overtime. I'm tired every single day, but I'm still trying to do it to put this game out just to be told. Like, I would assume sometimes it's great, like Red Dead Redemption. It was a global hit. That game came out, every single person in the world and they probably look back and they're thinking, you know what,
it was worth it.
It was fucking worth it. Everyone's happy, I'm happy, we're all getting good money or whatever. But some games that turn out trash, I really feel sorry for whoever is in that. Like, look at Hello Games, for example, right? Hello Games was maybe the biggest sham of like the whole gaming industry as a whole. It was a company that was
Anthem of Fallout 76.
It was a company that was like a garage company. Like they had like 4 members in it, but they were bigged up like they were half of Sony. Not Sony, half of Microsoft dealing with it. And then when the game comes out, I
thought it was Sony.
What was it? Sony who put the budget in? I think it was Sony or Microsoft. But either or, it was made to look a lot bigger than the company actually was. And with that, No Man's Sky flopped immediately. And imagine when that game got released and just the review. Imagine going home on that weekend when that games came out and just checking Twitter. Like if you was a developer of that game.
Yeah.
It was just like, this game's terrible, this game's the worst game ever, everyone refund it. It's got mostly negative on Steam, which I don't think I've ever seen on a game other than troll games. And it was just you scrolled through everything, it was just negative. Imagine being the game dev of that.
It's the idea now of like games being more of like a profit, like because now that people know how much money is in games, right? People will make games for like profit. Whereas back in the day, games were made just to be like, this is my passion. I want to make this game. This is the game I want to play and want to see, so I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's more what games were like back then. So like, if they wanted to put like 100 hours in, that's their business because like that it's their company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to put in 100 hours a week because you really love the game and it's completely your choice, that's completely fine. Like whatever you do, it's your game, you know what I mean? So any hours you put in, it's completely your choice.
Yeah.
But now that games have become like a lot bigger and there's a lot more money in a lot of like publishers are trying to get more money for what they put in, you know what I mean? Like they only want to spend like 6 years developing max when a game might need 10 years developing. So they'll just force their employees to work way more than they should have to.
Yeah.
And it's pretty gross because, like I said, they're human beings. You can't treat human beings like that.
Yeah.
It should be their choice. If they want to work on your game for that long, their choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand the idea of deadlines and stuff like that, but in all honesty, if a game is going to need to take that bit extra, then it's got to do that. The worst part is about games now as well. It's not like it used to be where you released a game and that was it. Yeah. It was like nowadays it's like they release a game that's 90% done. Everything's done on it, but it's 90%. There's still bugs, there's still glitches, there's still this, there's still that. And then once the game's released, they just get spammed with criticism and what they need to fix until all that's fixed, and they still haven't moved on to the next game or whatever. They've got to fix the problems of the first game. And right, we'll segue in now, right, for a game that it's kind of worked for, but most games that normally don't work. Now we'll jump into the game that this has generally worked for, right? New Ghost Recon Breakpoint has just been announced, right, which is the equivalent of Wildlands 2.0 from what it looks like, right?
Yes.
Now here's the thing. Everything from Breakpoint looks like Wildlands, right? But the thing is, I'm not upset at all because it looks improved and it looks like that 3 years that they needed extra has been put exactly on this, and that's what they're going out with. And
they needed 3 years extra for this game?
What? No. You know how, right? So when Wildlands came out, everyone was basically like, this game's fucking amazing, right? But if it had a bit more time, it could have been even better, right? Yeah. This is that game. This is literally that game of they had more time, because you can imagine, right, the graphics they didn't really need to change, right? The graphics was perfect.
Hey, God, the graphics was so good. It ran so good as well.
Graphics was perfect. Vehicle interaction was absolutely... I've never drove a fucking motorbike like I have on Wildlands.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
It was, oh my God, buttery smooth.
Performance was great.
Performance great. Gunplay great. Everything great. Outfits great. Everything about this.
Outfits could have been a bit more. Quite a few more outfits.
There could have been, but I'm talking about like for immersion. Do you remember? Okay, yeah, I remember we needed scuba suits, right? We needed scuba suits.
Yeah, let's say we needed scuba suits, but we had to use like gas masks and like the black camo stuff, and like use those for our scuba suits and stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's like just as context, we like to make outfits for every situation we was in on that game. So like if there was an island, we would go in at like the dead of night in our black scuba gear and we'd go in on our vision,
everything
on our boat. Sorry, and then we'd scuba in from different points of the compound. That's a great game that was.
Literally, it was absolutely perfect. Yeah, so it needed a tad bit more, but everything was there. It just needed a bit more, and that is exactly what this game is, which makes me so excited for it. Right, literally the things that we were begging for when we were playing Wildlands together is in this game, and that's what.
Well, I mean, we don't know if they're in this game.
Well, they've mentioned a lot of stuff already that I've already wanted. So, do you remember when we would stand there on the edge of a cliff just waiting for it to go night time so we could do a mission? Now you can skip time on the game.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That is
perfect.
Great.
That is literally exactly what I want. Right? There's fence cutters, so you can cut through fences, so you can just sneak in. Perfect. That's everything I want. You know, literally everything in this game I want. One thing you need to remove, right, that kind of started to piss me off was the anti-air in that game. The amount of times I'm just trying to get from A to B and I just get shot down immediately. That drove me absolutely insane. But this game literally just looked improved Wildlands, absolutely, and that's all they needed. That is all they need. It's the same as Borderlands, right? With what Gearbox have done with Borderlands, right? They had a game that was perfect, and they've now just created another game from that game, and it improved everything. And that's exactly what they're doing with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They took Wildlands, everything you love about Wildlands, and they've been like, right, here you go, sort of thing. Here's the new game.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it. Apparently, there's one. Right, apparently, they've added things that I didn't even think of. But that's because more people that play Wildlands, I think, were like, we were little immersion people, but I think more people were more like armorish fans. Like, apparently, if you carry heavier guns and stuff, your character will move slower and all stuff like that. If you get shot in certain areas, they'll limp. You can be like you can be like not like battle scar. You can be hurt from a fight, so your character will be like limping for a pretty long time, sort of thing. Which all these things I love. Hopefully, right, it don't slow you down too much, because like, imagine if you're like the guy that goes in on all the missions and then you break your leg, so he's limping everywhere or something, and it's like, come on, man, can you just fix your fucking leg so we can get on with this mission? I hope it's not too much, but I honestly do think that this game is going to be absolutely perfect. The new villain in the game is the guy played by Punisher.
Punisher,
which, you like...
I think I would have preferred him as a playable character, but it's still pretty...
I think I would have preferred him as a playable character, but I think me and you would have actually ended up fighting over who's being him.
Yeah, we would have.
Like... And I swear to God, he needs fight scene. Like, he needs a lot of camera time, because he's a great character, and I think he's going to be a great villain in the game as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I haven't pointed out? Go on.
I wanted, first of all, I will say this, I wanted synchronization, like character dialogue sync and radio sync.
Yeah.
It's so unimmersive to me when we're like playing and like, I'm like, oh, you hear what that dude said on the radio? Or you know about there's a song on right now? What? There's a song coming. Or like our characters are having a dialogue and I laugh and you're like, what are you laughing at? It's like, well, our character says, you're like, what do you mean he didn't say anything? And it's so unimmersive to me when stuff like that happens. So like, yeah, I definitely want synchronization. I think there was weather sync, right? It wasn't that bad. I think we did.
Yeah, it was weather synced. Yeah.
Okay. What else? Generally, yeah, just improve upon everything, like more outfits. More outfits. And one thing that I really didn't like was options, and that's like so class options, right? So one thing we never had, or one thing that I never really felt like was like, there was roles for everyone.
Yeah, it was very much
like specialties. It was very much like, like for example, there should be a skill tree that you can go down if you want to be like a specified sniper, right? Like you can carry and you can carry the best snipers, like the 50 caliber stuff like that. Less recoil. You get things like rangefinders and stuff like that. So like it just becomes easier to like be a sniper. Same with like if you want to infiltrate, or like what we talked about was more like a gadget guy, more like focusing on tech with like the drones and stuff. And it was just all this stuff in general we wanted more of, instead of it just being kind of, because everyone that we played with like wanted to do their own role on the team, and it wasn't really possible, because you kind of had you only had a couple of things that you could do, because everyone could just get the same skills as each other, and generally there was just the best skills. Like there wasn't like, I'm gonna get this skill to help my role. It was just, this skill's better than this, so I'll get this.
Yeah, it was like, do you remember the skill tree that literally like it just mounted any car in its place, and it was like, you had that skill tree at first, and I was like, oh, I won't get it because you can have that, and then it was just like every single time we were like held down or something, it was like, Luke, can you just run outside and just 3-shot the shopper for me? It's just like, give me 2 seconds. So in the end, it was just like, I had to buy it because you can't. It's just
there's no reason not to, because the other skills don't really, like, the other skills aren't like, oh, I really want to get these ones, so I don't want to get that, so can you get that, you know what I mean?
Like we tried to do it so it was like we were separated in skills and we could be needed for other, and then it was just like, fuck it, just get everything the same, like, and we'll just be elite characters each. I can understand that. Do you reckon it's going to be exactly like what the trailer's showing? Obviously, they go a bit OT with the trailers.
It depends how you play, doesn't it? Like we kind of played a little like the way they did on the trailers because we thought that was the most fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can imagine it being a little bit like it, at least a little bit. At least
yeah.
a little.
I think this is going to be a really like fun game. I think honestly it looks perfect. When did they say it's coming out? It's like October, in it, which isn't far. It isn't far away at all. Which is absolutely perfect. This game is probably like this game could possibly be my game of the year. Like I loved Wildlands so much. Like Wildlands was so fun. Like this is just gonna be as good. Hopefully, like this is gonna be perfect. I'm assuming. So there's only. Do you know if they're going with the same theme as Wildlands? How you have to take down the guy's side people and then you get to him at the end.
They'll probably do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, you can play as him as well in Wildlands DLC or something. So this is the same kind of storyline. I mean, not story. This is the same universe. Like it's not separated or anything. All this stuff is the same.
Well, yeah, you play as Nomad in the first game, but then you have there's 3 different characters, but they're not there. So I don't know what I want to assume. So,
what did you think? What did you think? Did you watch the whole trailer?
I watched the trailer and the gameplay trailer.
Okay, right. One thing that really like shined for me, and I literally was so happy when I seen it. What did you think of the second takedown? Whether it was more heavy brawl orientated. I loved that takedown. I don't know if you loved that takedown. I thought that takedown was absolutely perfect.
Well, did you watch the gameplay trailer?
Yeah,
it looks like
when she like took him down and then slit his throat, and then the other one where she kind of like they had like a bit of a fight between them. I loved that take. That's what I mean. That second takedown was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, to be honest, it all looked great.
Yeah,
it all looked good. It just improved upon the game, like when you could camouflage in the mud and stuff.
Oh, the camouflaging in the mud. I feel like goddamn Predator. Literally, it's gonna be perfect. I can't even talk about it anymore, right? It's gonna be so fun. I actually can't wait for this game. Like, I actually can't wait. Like, it's gonna be all good. And I love the fact, like, you can be knocked onto your feet and everything, and then you shoot him from being down. Oh man, it's gonna be lit. It is gonna be absolutely lit. Right. Segueing onto this, I just remembered this because I said about it. They are releasing a Predator game. What do you think of that? And so they haven't shown much other than a trailer of, I think it was like 4 people walking through the woods, and then it goes onto the tree and you can see the Predator cloaked.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I don't really care for the Predator universe at all. I haven't liked any of the games, and I haven't liked any of the films.
Yeah, the films, I like Predator 1. Predator 1's fun, but all the other Predators are meh. I think the game can be interesting. I think it's a bit strange though, because do you remember what was that game called? Evolved.
Evolve.
Yeah. Right. That game where you had your monster and he just gone and he had to build up and then kill them.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's the same kind of style, except from he doesn't evolve. He just his objective is to kill them, and their objective is to try and kill him.
Well, I mean, Evolved didn't really do very well. So
that's what I mean. It kind of failed, but at the same time, you kind of have the same thing with Dead by Daylight. How there's a killer and he's after the 4 people, but there's kind of like a side party in that. Instead of him just finding them and murdering them, it's more, they have an objective, they have to be hooked. There's more to it. I honestly don't see how this game works if the objective is for the Predator to kill the people and the people are to kill the Predator. I don't see how it's going to work. Or if they've got if it's the same thing, like they've got to do generators and shit, or they've got to do something to somehow survive the I don't know. It just seems like Dead by Daylight, so why copy it?
See, I don't know. I mean, like, I'd have to see more on it, but like, In truth, I don't really care for Predator very much. I think like it could be cool, but at the same time, like I don't know. I don't enjoy the idea of Predator very much. Like it's just I don't know. I really don't know how to I really don't know how to say why I don't really enjoy it. I just don't. It's been milked a lot and it's never really been done amazing to me. Like the newest Predator film looks awful to me.
Yeah, Predator has been...
Alpha Predator, the one or whatever one it was, and it's just big. It's
yeah, he's just like 10 foot instead of like...
Yeah, and that just defeats the purpose of Predator for me.
Yeah, I got that as well. I was just like, I don't understand that, right? Forgot to mention, right? I can't wait, right? I physically cannot wait with Ghost Recon for me to get shot and be downed and have you carry me around.
Oh man! So the down feature looks cool. There's a few things that I didn't like about the down feature. So one being, so I like that you can pick people up. I really wish you could drag them as well, and I hope that you can. That becomes something that you can do. Kind of similar to how you can drag someone in an army of 2 and they can still shoot while you're dragging them. Stuff like that. Also, I wish they use a different revive animation. God, I freaking hate that revive animation.
Yeah, is it the one where they just stab them in the chest?
With, like, adrenaline or something, yeah, and like they just get up and it's just, I do not like that revive animation.
Yeah, now if they wanted to go a bit more extreme with it, which would be a lot more fun, they could, like bandage up the area of the character, because you see him bandage an area where he's took damage. Like you could see, like, why not just do the same thing for the side character as well? You know what I mean? If he's been shot in the leg, they see that he's been shot in the leg, they bandage his leg up or something like that. Something a bit more added. I thought that was cool. But yeah, like I'm with you. I do like the down thing, but I can't believe that it does sound a bit weird, don't it? That it's like, oh my god, I'm so excited for the down animation. I'm excited that my character can pick your character up. You think, with all the technology we've got, this is the game that's gonna bring out the fact that you can pick me up and I can pick you up, sort of thing. It is really strange that it is, though, the little things that make a game kind of really fun. So I don't mind the fact, you got to pick something like the picking up. I do prefer it. I just think it's quite strange that it's took a very long time for a game to be able to pick another character up, like Army of 2.
To be fair, a lot of games still do it.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Like, yeah, it's because the more recent ones like PUBG and like Battle Royales don't let you do stuff like that, but it's because they try to be more competitive, so there's really no reason to just pick your boy up and start running away. So I guess sometimes it could help, like if you just wanted to smoke him but you didn't have time to revive him, so you just pick him up and start dipping.
Yeah,
it can sometimes help.
Yeah, but this game looks absolutely perfect, right? I've got pretty much nothing else to say other than that it looks absolutely amazing. Anything for you? Is there anything you want to touch on? Oh wait, actually, we've got another thing to segue to. So, is there anything else game related that you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
Okay, right. So the last but not least, I was going to do it on the podcast, but I don't, on the Game of Thrones podcast, but I don't know if that character's still going to be alive at this point, right? Do you want to know?
And all that.
Do you want to know the betting odds for the character who will kill Cersei?
Let me give you a guess first. Okay. I reckon the betting odds are highest for Jamie.
You're right.
Okay. And then what? And then do you want me to get second and third and stuff? Okay, so Jamie, I'm guessing is the highest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Arya is the second highest.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess third highest is Daenerys.
Third highest is actually she doesn't die.
Okay.
Fourth highest is she commits suicide.
Okay.
Fifth highest is Tyrion.
I don't. She's not in a position to kill herself anymore. Like,
no, I don't think she is.
Character arc.
No, I don't either. Right. Fourth, suicide. Fifth, Tyrion. Sixth, Sansa. Seventh, Daenerys.
Okay.
Eighth, Greyjoy.
Yeah. Wait, Greyjoy's dead.
The boat boy.
No, he's dead. Oh, you mean Euron?
Yeah, you're on Greyjoy.
Okay, yeah.
Then in the same rank as him is Snow.
Okay.
The same rank as him is her side person, you know, the guy that's talking to Tyrion who came out, I can't remember his name.
Yep.
The old guy.
Yep.
And then after that,
really?
yeah, and then after that is the Mountain. But that's like an impossible one sort of thing. They're like ranked impossible, yeah. Right?
Yeah, I don't know why they make better insights on a show that people already know the answers to.
Yeah, that's normally what kind of rules out spoilers sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting if that's the route they're gonna go, if that is the final kills and stuff like that. What about? Do you want to know this? Odds to rule Westeros at the end of season 8.
Okay, I'm gonna guess Jon is number 1.
Nope.
Sansa.
Nope.
Daenerys.
Nope.
Cersei.
Nope.
The Night King.
Nope.
Tyrion.
Nope.
Jaime.
Nope.
But season 8, yeah?
Yep.
Who have I said?
Right. Apparently, yeah, the number 1 favourite's Bran at the moment.
No, that's so dumb. It couldn't be Bran. It couldn't be Bran because Bran doesn't have an interest in anything anymore. That is the worst theory I've ever heard.
That is currently how the betting odds are.
He doesn't care enough to rule a kingdom. He's not a man anymore. He just wants to sit there.
Now, if Bran is actually at the end, how are you going to feel about that show?
Mad because it goes completely against his character.
Everyone did say that you will not predict the ending of Game of Thrones.
Honestly, right? Whoever's like, who these people are that's voting for Bran, I hope you lose your money. Because it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. It goes against his character arc completely. It's like saying Arya should rule. It doesn't make sense. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, like
so. No, these people. No. God, these people. I can't wait till they lose their money.
I hope he wins. I hope he does.
No,
right.
Really
apparently it goes Bran, then Sansa. Then Snow.
Okay.
Right, then this is a really surprising one. Then Gendry.
Yeah, that is a surprising one.
Right, I reckon that's just someone trolling in all honesty.
That's not someone. There's no way that's someone trolling. Right. I reckon that's legit. The Bran one's more of a troll than Gendry. What do you mean?
Right, then Gendry. Then Daenerys and Tyrion are on the same rank at the moment.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Which is interesting.
Like, it's completely plausible that Daenerys can get the throne, but we would hate her when she gets the throne, and there you go, the end of the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Then, apparently after that is Daenerys and Jon Snow's child. Still
she can't get pregnant. They've already said that multiple times. She can't get pregnant.
Well, that and then it's Arya. And then, right, you ready for this one?
Okay.
Right, only shortly behind Arya is Littlefinger.
Littlefinger's dead.
Or is he?
No, he's actually dead. Mate, some of the people that are putting these theories up, they're blowing my mind right now. They're blowing my mind. And not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way at all.
Yeah, literally like the lowest ranked character is the Mountain.
How is it below Littlefinger?
The Mountain's the lowest on everything.
Because he's not really a character anymore, he's just a wall, isn't he now? Like, but like, honestly, like, why is the Mountain below a dead character? I'm surprised someone hasn't put Ned Stark to rule the throne as number 1.
Wait, is he actually in here? No, he isn't. Tormund is close to the Mountain.
Tormund?
Yeah.
That's just someone wanting that to happen. That's not like, they don't actually believe it, they just want it.
Yeah, so that is apparently how it currently is rocking at the moment. Don't know if that's changed. That was the betting odds on Thursday.
Okay.
Today is Sunday the 12th, so that could change dramatically, but that we will soon find out tomorrow, because tomorrow is the episode where they take on,
where they're supposed to, or everyone's supposed to be dying, but we've heard that at episode 3.
Yeah, that's true. So it could just be all about, what happens if they all just walk in at the end and, you know, they have a cuppa together and they just truce?
Oh, fuck. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. I keep seeing so many funny, like, fucking memes about the writers of Game of Thrones. It's, at least I've got something good from this season.
Literally, like, honestly, right, you know how they do like that interview at the end of Game of Thrones, right? Honestly, I was saying to everyone, right, they should just stop doing that, because the people that create like their reviews and stuff talk about them just the whole way through it. Every review I've seen just literally are hating on them. They're literally like, this idiot and this idiot. It's just like, oh god,
they're calling him D&D, and you're calling him Dumb and Dumber instead of their actual names.
Yeah,
I don't know what their actual names are. Dan and something, I don't know. But just calling him Dumb and Dumber.
They just absolutely brutalize them. And I'm just like, Jesus, like, it's funny.
These boyos are probably, they're probably sitting there waiting for Game of Thrones season. They're like, oh man, I can't wait till everyone sees it. It's gonna be great. This, that, the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a fucking genius to all these people, and everyone's just going mental at them.
4 episodes in, and they're probably some of the most hated people on the planet like that.
Literally, they probably are. Right, okay, that is perfect. Right, that is the end for us. We will be back next week with our normal weekly podcast. We also do an exclusive Game of Thrones podcast, which normally gets released Tuesday. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next chapter. Peace.
Bye.